Hello friends, welcome back to another video from Shomu's Biology, and we are looking at different videos. We're discussing about different videos from immunology, and today we are going to talk about the humoral immunity in our immune system. We are going to talk about the mechanism of humoral immunity, the components of humoral immunity, and the clinical significance of humoral immunity in our body. Now we can also call it as a humoral immune response. There are different immune responses, the cellular immune response and the humoral immune response. Okay, the cellular immune response is when the cells of the immune system, be it macrophage, be it dendritic cell, be it natural killer cell, they exactly fight against the infective agent, while the humoral part of the immune system deals with the generally utilize proteins in order to fight against the pathogen or the pathogen component. Now the protein means in this case antibodies are proteins, complement molecules are the proteins. Those are utilized in case of fighting against the pathogen. So that is known as the humoral immunity. Okay, so starting with the overall overview of the humoral immunity, it has innate part to it and it has adaptive part to it. Innate immunity and adaptive immunity both are present inside the humoral immunity, but the innate part of the humoral immunity is actually maintained by complement proteins, known as C proteins or complement proteins. There are different names: C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, like that. Okay, and antibacterial proteins are also there, that is produced by our body but in less amount, but still those proteins, antibacterial proteins as well as the complement proteins, are a part of innate line of humoral immunity. They are humoral immunity but in innate line. Innate line means it is not adaptive. Innate immunity means a part of our immune system which is always ready to show some response against pathogen or pathogen components. Okay, that is the part of the innate immunity, and based on the presence of the microorganism, based on the presence of the pathogen, based on the presence of their pathogen's nature, they don't fight back. That is the innate immunity. They don't adapt to it. Okay, they fight irrespective of the antigen that they encounter. There is no specificity in terms of interaction, that is in the innate form, but in adaptive form there is a specificity of interaction between the antigen and antibody and the proteins that are used there, and in case of adaptive form they use antibodies, also known as immunoglobulins. Okay, so they targets extracellular pathogens, they are toxins and foreign substances which are harmful to our body and crucial for neutralizing infections and providing us a long-term immunity against infections. That is a part of the humoral immunity, that is the job of the humoral immunity. It may take up slowly, but once it takes up, it provides protection for a long duration. Okay, now the key components of the humoral immunity is a B cells. B cells, plasma cells, for example, the B cells are converted to plasma cells. Plasma cells are a modified version of the B cells which is capable to produce antibodies. They produce antibodies. Okay, and some of these plasma cells, some of these B cells convert themselves to a memory B cell. Why? Because the memory B cells have the memory of the antigen they encountered for the first time, and based on that antigen they develop their antibodies. That is what they do. Okay, so plasma cells produce the antibodies here. Next is the memory B cells. I told you already about the memory B cells provide long-term immunity because it stores the information regarding the antigen that they encountered for the first time and they store it. So the plasma cells are active antibody producing cells and memory B cells are not antibody producing cells, but they have what it takes to inform and be converted to a plasma cell in future when the same antigen is being encountered by the body. Next is the antibodies. So obviously antibody is a part of the humoral immunity. So antibody IgG, IgA, IgM, IgE and IgD, these are the 5 different major antibodies that are being produced by the plasma cells, different varieties of antibodies, and these antibodies also have their subclasses. They have their own particular role to play, but all of these antibodies have similar role, that is the neutralization of the toxins as well as the opsonization of the pathogen. Okay, And the third part is the complement system. The complement is also part of the innate arm of the humoral immunity. There are complement proteins. They enhance phagocytosis, pathogen lysis. They create pores in the membrane of the pathogen and can kill the pathogen, and that has a response in inflammation. Now the mechanism of humoral immunity, how it is done. First is the antigen recognition via the BCR or B cell receptor. You can see that this is the B cell with the B cell receptor, and B cell receptor is there. This is the B cell receptor. Here in this side you can see B cell receptor is nothing but antibodies. Okay, so with the help of the B cell receptor it can interact to antigen of either a small fragment of a pathogen or a complete pathogen, so that will be termed as antigenic determinants. So these B cell receptors will bind to this antigen, and that is the very first step of antigen recognition. The step number second is the activation of B cell, and for the activation purpose what we know is that the B cell needs to be activated while in contact with the T helper cell. Okay, that is very important. T cell dependent activation, where the T cell interacts to the B cell via the MHC class 2. MHC class 2 is a receptor on the surface of the B cell, and the B cell, after taking up the antigen, they fragment it and showcase it to the T cell through this MHC class 2 receptor. So they have this MHC, let's say it's my hand, this is MHC class 2, and I got this antigen, I take the antigen here like this paper, and I showcase it to the T cell. Now the T cell will recognize it with the help of the T cell receptor. Okay, and then the process will continue. You can see that. So T cell receptor, this is TCR, T cell receptor in blue, this is MHC2 in green, and the antigen is visible here in purple. And this interaction is further confirmed by a co-stimulator response between the CD40 coming from the B cell surface, CD40 receptor, and CD40 ligand coming from the T helper cell. That interaction between T helper cell and B cell locks the signal, and now there will be activation of the B cell will be activated, and B cell will be turned into plasma cell. And there are also T cell independent activation when the B cell is being triggered by repetitive antigens, when there is so much antigenic component but the B cell is the T cell is limited somehow. Maybe the patient or the person is encountering some deficit of the T cell at that moment. So what happens is that B cell is being encountered by the antigen quite often, and the antigenic concentration is increasing. In that case, the B cell gets activated without the involvement of T cell. But in this case, the activation, although the activation will be there, but it will be short lived, it will not be long lived. Okay, and here the clonal expansion will take place. The clonal expansion means the naive B cell, they encounter the antigen and the B cell becomes active. And how it will be activated? Based on the B cell's crosstalk with the T cell via the MHC2 and T cell receptor interaction. With this interaction, the B cell gets activated and the B cell will become lymphoblasts, and again the B cell, remember this B cell can be converted to plasma cells where they become antibody producing factories, and they continue to produce specific antibody to go against this antigen. Whatever antigen they encounter for the first time, this antibody is going to destroy them, neutralize them, and cause opsonization of the complete pathogen. And some of this B cell convert themselves to the memory B cell, and that is very important. The antibody production will be done for the neutralization purpose or opsonization purpose or the complement activation purpose. Through the complement activation, they can also create pores in the membrane of pathogen and can kill it. And some of these B cells will turn into memory B cells, so that in future times, if the same antigen is attacking us, then the B cell will be, the memory cell will be just activated and start the job much faster. Functions of the humoral immunity, first is the neutralization. So there are toxins released by pathogens or even the whole pathogen body. We can neutralize it with the help of the antibody. You know, the antibody you can see in the Y-shaped structure in blue color here, these are all antibody, and this is antigen in the red color, the pathogen or pathogenic parts. So this antibody can coat this completely, and if they coat it completely, and then with the help of you can see that coating is done like this or different format of the coating can be done. Okay, so this coating blocks the antigen to cause any kind of abnormality or changes in our tissue. That can be prevented. That is one thing, that is called neutralization. Okay, that means the pathogen or the antigen is being neutralized. Next is opsonization. Opsonization is a process when we coat this 2B, this particular picture like this, when antigen or a pathogen is being coated by the antibody, then there are macrophage or phagocytic cells. Let's say this is a macrophage, which is a phagocytic cell. Dendritic cell is a phagocytic cell. So these macrophage or dendritic cells, they are going to engulf this antibody coated pathogen easily, and then they are going to destroy them inside. Okay, that is opsonization. So that marks pathogens for phagocytosis. So phagocytosis becomes much easier for the phagocytic cells if the pathogen is marked and coated with antibodies. Okay, and there are complement activation process where if the complement gets activated, let's say this is the bacteria cell wall and this is the antibody, and with that there are different complement protein gets active, and if the complement protein gets active, they can create a pore in the membrane, and through the pore, due to the creation of the pore in the bacterial membrane, osmotic imbalance will kill the bacteria. Okay, that leads to the lysis and also can cause inflammation. And there is also mucosal immunity, where immunoglobulin A prevents the microbial adherence at the mucosal surface. That's why the immunoglobulin A is present, or IgA, that is antibody A, is present in secretions of our body, namely our tear as well as our saliva. So in these secretions we have IgA antibody, immunoglobulin A, and this, with the help of the saliva and tears, they can prevent the adherence of microbe to the mucosal surface, either in this eye surface like here, because there is no skin, this part of the eye is open, so there is mucus and there is the tear that helps to protect us against any bacterial adhesion to this surface. What are the clinical relevance of humoral immunity diseases? Immunodeficiencies like COVID and XLA are there. Autoimmune diseases like SLE, rheumatoid arthritis are also related to that. Vaccines induce antibody production for long-term protection, and we utilize this humoral immunity, we tap this humoral immunity and make it viable for development of vaccines. And therapeutics, monoclonal antibodies are used to target specific cells which are cancer cell or specific infected cell of our body. And intravenous immunoglobulin therapy or intravenous IG therapy, or there is a plasma therapy that we generally talked about during the COVID. We talked about this plasma therapy where we directly inject antibodies to fight against the antigen that we know, the known antigen, and we have the antibody against that antigen, so directly deliver those antibodies in the bloodstream of the patient. So that is also a part of the therapeutic approach that depends on the humoral aspect of our immunity. So these are all clinical relevance of humoral immunity. I believe you have a clear idea on the humoral immunity. If you want to know more about the cell mediated immunity and also other topics of the immune system, then watch the whole video series of immunology here. You are going to get much benefit. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel to get more videos like this one in future. Thank you.